Hello again. Um, so I have driven home from the mosque, so I'm home now. But I couldn't really talk during the prayer, so now I want to explain you a bit more of what was really going on. So we start the prayer by saying Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar means God is greater than, and it gives you a space to fill in the blank because it just only means God is greater than. And then whatever you're thinking of, whatever is stressing you out, whatever you're doing at that very moment, you can say Allahu Akbar, so God is greater than, and then your personal thing. So we start the prayer by saying Allahu Akbar, and we have our hands go like this, which is like wiping away everything of your mind and saying God is greater than. And then after a couple of prayers, we go into the opening chapter of the Quran, which is Al-Fatiha. So we recite the opening chapter of the Quran in every unit of our prayer. So every prayer of the day is different units. It has different number of units. So this specific prayer that I have showed you was 4 units. So this means people recite the opening chapter of the Quran 4 times during this prayer. I will give you a very, very shallow translation of it, just so you get a feeling of what is being said during those prayers. So, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. It means in the name of God, the most merciful, the most compassionate. And this is said before reciting any kind of chapter of the Quran, or it is said before doing any kind of action in the name of God, the most merciful. So before making the car work, during opening the door of your house, everything basically, it is said Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. So then, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin, praise and gratitude belongs to God, the most merciful, the most compassionate, Maliki Yawmiddin, the owner of the Day of Judgment. Maliki Yawmiddin, Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in. To you only do we worship, and to you, from you only we ask from. Ihdina sirat al-mustaqima. Please guide us to the straight path. And I want to make a parenthesis here that during every prayer we say, please guide us to the straight path. So this is basically supposed to be, I'm not saying it's everybody thinks like this, but I'm just saying during every prayer we say, guide us to the right path, to the straight path, which means that we know we're not on the straight path, and we know that we have a lot of faults, and just because we're praying doesn't necessarily mean we're on the right path, you know. So it's very, very important to keep asking to be on the right path, because we know we're absent. We know that we're not completely in the right path, you know. So we ask for guidance in every prayer. Sirat alladhina an'amta alayhim ghayril maghdubi alayhim waladdallin. Amin. So we ask, please guide us to the straight path, to the path of those who have walked in your way. So we're referring to the prophets right now, starting from Adam until Abraham, Jesus, Moses, and the last prophet Muhammad. May peace be upon him. May peace be upon all of them. And in Islam we have all the prophets. Basically we accept the presence and the teachings of all the prophets. That's also in other religions as well. So we ask to be guided to the path that they have walked upon. So and then we ask not to the path that of those who have betrayed you, or not to the path of those who have gone astray from you, who have never received guidance, or who have received guidance and then has shifted from your guidance. And then Amin, of course. And then we go on to recite a voluntary chapter of the Quran. So this could be any chapter of the Quran. It depends on you. And this is done 4 times. And while changing into every position, the imam who is leading the prayer says Allahu Akbar, so everybody can kind of act at the same time, and again to remind God is greater than whatever you're thinking right now, because sometimes the mind gets distracted during the prayer. And then basically the way the prayer is finished, you say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. May peace be upon you, may God's peace and mercy be upon you, may God's peace and mercy be upon you. And then the prayer is finished. And then in the mosques there will be some recitations of the Quran, and maybe some prayers upon the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. So you can choose to stay to listen to those prayers and recitations, or you can also leave if you have something else to do. And so I think that's a very basic, kind of shallow idea of the prayer. I know I couldn't really explain it well. One just last thing. So when we say Allahu Akbar and we put our foreheads on the head, we say Subhanaka Rabbil Ala, which means, "Oh, you are the most perfect, my Creator, the highest." So this is recited 3 times to be able to understand how little we are and how great He is, how high He is. And it is said that in that position where you prostrate, it is when you are most closest to God, in the religion of Islam, of course. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. May God's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon you. Bye. Love you.